a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What is up? Welcome back to Pregaming here on Sports Money. Every Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. I'm your boy, Pep Slap P.O.D. Trying to give you guys the goods, all that last minute look, all the action, the line movement, the cash flow splits, the injury updates, trade analysis, which guy woke up on the wrong side of the bed, who stubbed their toe after the morning skate, all those things you need to get to the windows with winning tickets. And what a winning night we had again last night. Starting to stack them up. Starting to stack them high. Starting to let them fly. It's exciting. Lots of good things happening. I told you guys, this is that time of the season. The trends. The trends are our friends. The trends have found their way to making sense this time of year. Now that we've got the data behind us in just about all three sports, we can really put together some comprehensive analysis when it comes to these numbers, what it means, and how do we want to go attack those games. We had a monster night last night. Another big one. Going back to last Friday, every single day on this channel, we have been in the green, I'm going to call it. I know it's the black, but it never makes sense to me. I mean, I get you're not in the red, but listen, it's been cash stacking, stacks and stacks and stacks of cash. It ain't no joke. It ain't no joke. In fact, we gained net of the day just over, let me see, just over 4.9 units on the show in all. Sadly, lost that soccer play put out there in the afternoon. But look, we bounced back with a vengeance. I shouldn't even say bounce back. Came off of a 7-unit night the night before. Cashed the Flyers 6-1. How about this for a fun fact? Since the Eagles have won the Super Bowl, the Flyers have put up back-to-back touchdowns in the only two games since the All-Star break. Pretty impressive. Touchdowns in those games, 6-1 final. Cincinnati, we did not take the 2, we took the money line. You took the 2, you pushed. If you got 2.5, if you got hook popped, you got popped. Best number you could have gotten yesterday on that was minus 130. You know, minus 140 is our ceiling. Cashed the Cincy Beckets. Georgia, outright dog winner. Nailed that thing to a T. It was absolutely not a Florida spot. And, you know, the hot seat's still hot, but it's going to be a little bit longer before they get rid of this Georgia head coach for the Bulldogs. Let's see what else. College hoops. We finished off the night with Indiana State on the under 149.5. Them boys got to 142. So we were in good shape there at a minus 108. We did beat the closing line. What else? The NHL, as I mentioned, the Flyers got there for us. Tage Thompson put up about 100 shots on goal, but the Sabres could not get to 6. No, when we need goals from Buffalo, it doesn't happen. Hopefully you played the Tage Thompson over 3.5 shots on goal outright. That was plus 130. Pretty good spot there. Like I said, the final number was 7, but it felt like 100. And the Sabres came back to win that game, which is such a role reversal. But these Ducks, this is where trends make sense this time of year. When you see a bad team like Anaheim dominate so much on the road, you know they're bad. There's only one way they can go. It's down. It's back to 0. And they're just about back to 0. I think you're probably up, I don't have the number in front of me. Is it now maybe 2.5 or 3 units on the year for the Anaheim Ducks on the road? Buffalo gets the W there, but we did not cash our parlay. It was a plus 340. The Rangers busted up the Islanders. Busted them up. Project Fade continued. Project Fade went undefeated yesterday, by the way. Went 4-0. The Rangers were on that fade list. Well, I should say the Islanders were on that fade list. The Rangers cashed minus 115 for us. The under 6.5, probably the least popular play on the card. Everybody thought that game was going over. A lot of people like the Edmonton Oilers. Just remember, travel is real. Tampa Bay dominates Western Conference opponents. It made sense. I think it's 18 in a row now or something like that. It's phenomenal number that's been going on out there. They've been cashing and cashing and cashing and cashing. Detroit, the Red Wings were kind enough to tie the game up and go to overtime so that we could go out there and live bet them again at even money. Detroit was the second play I gave out on the Project Fade list. Again, the Project Fade list went 4-0, 2-0 with the Rangers and the Red Wings. And some would ask, giving out fades? I'm just giving out winners. If you're the guy I got to fade, that's so be it. Listen, under 220.5 in the Orlando-Cleveland game. Yeah, guess what? Did we nail the score? Did I nail the score? It was pretty damn close. 122-82. I thought Orlando might be the live dog out there, but I do believe I said if they score 83 points, we're in business. And they got 82 points. So go back and check tape on me. The Houston Rockets minus 3.5. 100-97. We got hooked. But the biggest blow of the night was it was 42-0, but once that line moved from 3 to 2.5, it was no longer 42-0. The line factor for the 40, this is the tough part about sometimes on the show, why we want to wait a little bit for some of these lines, because it's got to do with where the line closes. Doesn't matter. No excuses. Excuses are the foundation in the house of failure, and there are no excuses here. That is just a matter of fact, and plus 3, it's still lost. It doesn't matter what number you got. Pelicans, they led that game 99% of the time, and the Pelicans went on like a 19-0 run at the end of the game. I don't know what happened there, but we lost it. It was still a winning day, though. All in all, 4.9 show units yesterday. Where else are you going to have this much fun? I mean, come on. It's fun winning bets. It's fun making cash. But it's fun hanging out with you guys, man. So I really appreciate that. Thank you for being back here as we get started on yet another night of money. We got 3 NHL games. I've got 2 plays for you. I'm not a fan of tonight's card. I'm not. I got 3 fades. If you want, I'll share the fades with you. I'll give you the fade report. You want the fade report? I'll give that to you. But I've got 2 plays in the Jersey, Colorado, and Vancouver, LA Kings game. Might add, I don't know about that third game. We'll see. We get the college hoops. I got a 3-pack for you in college hoops. We'll go Ole Miss Auburn. We'll go Vandy, Texas A&M, and we'll wrap her up with Rice and Memphis. You guys are going to have to blame YouTube today. You're going to have to blame the fine folks at YouTube, this platform that they have afforded us. Look, if you don't believe me, I'll share it with you. Where'd it go? Where did it go? Maybe you're just going to have to believe me. No. Where is it? All right. Look, true story. Let me share this with you. Never mind all the nonsense that goes into all of this. Just look at this window right here. And I'm going to give you a sneak peek on this game. I wanted to get it out there. The post tab would not work today on Twitter or on YouTube. Damn it. I said taking Rice plus 13.5 now. This line's on the move. Trying to catch the best line. It did move. It moved to 12.5. Still going to take it. Now you know. I tried putting it out there. 1:47 p.m. Couldn't get it done. But now you know. We're taking that 12.5 in that Rice game. I'll talk to you guys about that in a few minutes. Then we're going to roll on. We'll talk some Boston Celtics, the Detroit Pistons, the Portland Trail Blazers, the Washington Wizards, and we'll wrap her up with Atlanta and Miami in one of our favorite spots of all spots. It's a good spot. Some would say a great spot. Make sure you guys take the time to smash that thumbs up button. This is the time of the show where we need your help to grow. You help us grow by smacking that thumbs up button. Let's get the folks to know that we are out here doing this thing. We want YouTube to bust at the seams with new viewers, bringing their best bets, just like you guys, working hard every day, grinding, coming in here with your favorite selections and getting sharper by the day. So let's do that. Let's grow this community. You do that by closing the chat, hitting that thumbs up. Then you pop the chat back open and we will be ready to go. Yeah, let's go. Shout out to everybody here rocking. Thank you, guys. Let's get this pen and paper ready. It's time to recognize best bets here from the crew. And, of course, make sure you put your best bets in the chat so we can recognize you. Joe T. It's the same like him. Devils Avalanche. First period over 1.5. Comment there. Numero uno is back. He's ready to attack, and he's going on the Devils and Avalanche. First period over 1.5. Shout out to Joe W. in the house. Gerald Jones coming in with his best bet. Bucknell -2. Mississippi State, Alabama was easy, dude, wasn't it? What are you talking about? Even their team total? That thing soared over. I mean, it was a big number, and it soared over the number. Shout out to Barry. Redbeard's in the house. He likes Ole Miss +13. Arkansas -2.5. And the Jets money line and the over 5.5 in that NHL game. A little big action Jackson there for Redbeard. Stop. Gio's ready to roll. AOD's in the house. Nicholas Handy. Shout out to all you guys. Lexicon. Appreciate you. Phil the Kills here. That Flyers dub was so easy. I felt ill not taking the puck line. That's when you know you cashing well. Well said. It was a delicious victory out there. I was able to live bet the over. I got the over 6.5 at some plus money in that game too. I felt pretty good about that. Man, Bruins cash too. Should have made those guys official. Shout out to Wine Time Sports is here in the house. Mike, I hope you are doing well. AOD, I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it. I got some moves up my sleeves. We got some big moves up the sleeves here, some new programming. We're trying to get some new shows launched for you guys here. Trying to get several shows launched, as a matter of fact, in the next couple of days. So stay tuned. Peter Gracia, appreciate you. This is Mikey Cash and Kid. Shout out to Keith. Says Pregaming running hot. Let's go, Keith. It's going to be fun this weekend. Blake M's in the house. Looking forward to everyone's take tonight on games. Absolutely, man. That's the best part about it. Let's see what you guys have to say. We want to get, I told you guys, this is more for me than it is. I'll share with you my card. I want to see what you guys are on. That's what makes it so much fun for me. Rick J, Maryland, first half, -2 for our guy, Rick J. There's Fernando Mendoza in the house. Gerald Jones going to build that bankroll courtesy of the old tax man. Scott likes it. Big Scott 510, Jets, Avs, 2-leg parlay. Parlay on the Jets and the Avs. Jerry Davis, Arkansas Razorbacks could still do it, but Thero's out. He's been pretty important. Yeah, I think it's a little different in college hoops than obviously the NBA. The benches are thinner. The talent is thinner across the board. So it does matter a little bit more when some of those key players are out of the lineup. Robert McCormick got some soccer money today. Big Scott's reminding everybody smack that thumbs up button. Oh, no. Gun Blasters in the house. He says Fanatics and FanDuel are both down for maintenance. Criminals. This time of day, what a disgrace. Yeah. You know what? Make sure you guys try to log in. Make sure you try to log in. Well said. Try to log in. You know what? We don't want to exploit a bad line, but we will exploit a bad server. Let's try to log in right now. Let's try to log in. Well, let me log into Fanatics. Try to log into FanDuel. Maybe you're winning too much, Scum Blaster. Maybe you're winning too much. I'm doing it. Doing it. No, it won't let me log into FanDuel. All right. Let's go. Barry's gonna owe the tax man. He says, "Well, we'll get you some money tonight to pay that the tax man out." Gerald Jones giving a shout out to his 4-year-old daughter. Shout out to Gerald Jones' 4-year-old daughter. Let's go. Time to go. FanDuel's still working over here in Michigan, says Stop Geoengineer. Scott, maybe you made too much money. Maybe they don't want you to be part of the early action. You got to go out there and bet it live. Live and ready to attack. I'm ready to attack. Let's get into this card. Let's go. Let's go through this card. Let's bust this card out of here. Get things rolling. We got a big night tonight. Excuse me. First strike will be popping off as we do on Wednesday nights. Don't forget, a reminder, we've got the VB MMA Pick Show out there. A good 60, 70 of you guys have already seen it on our channel. And them boys are hot. They got the 4 panels crew out there giving out best bets, talking about theoretical live betting lines and so on and so forth and so on and so forth. Winnipeg Jets and the Ottawa Senators. No action in this game. If I was going to take some action, I would take the Ottawa Senators. Here's the thing. Yeah, we have Connor Hellebuyck going in goal. For me, this is just simply put, the Jets are on a 10-game winning streak. What happens after 10? We look to punt. Now, lots of guys injured for this Senators team. Josh Norris, Shane Pinto, Brady Tkachuk. It's kind of a big deal. It's not a small deal. Overall, though, with these guys, from a team with rest perspective, I'd feel a lot better about this game if them boys were in, for sure. The last time that we saw the last time that we saw, the Senators roll out on the ice, they got busted up by the Canadians. So, those players are probably pretty key, but that was 4 days ago. So these guys haven't played since the 22nd, all the way back to last Saturday. This will be their first game back on the ice. And I like a rested team when it comes down to it. I mean, you could look at the Canadian side of things. I mean, look, this is a bounce back revenge, not a bounce back, but a revenge opportunity for the Senators because they just lost to the, I'm sorry, excuse me. No. I'm looking at the wrong thing here. I'm looking at Montreal, and I shouldn't be looking at Montreal. I don't know what the hell I was doing there. But at the end of the day, it's the injury factor for me that kept me off this game. I'll tell you my theory, my strategy. Now, it's a bust in the face when these dogs lose, but in a card like tonight where I don't entirely love the card, if I was looking for the action, it might just be dog, or try to find a player prop to score a goal. I will say this. What will I say? Project Fade would have you taking the under 1.5 in the first period for. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Well, fucked up here. What's going on? What am I doing? Let me reset. Let's restart the whole show. No, I'm just kidding. We won't do that. Get my shit together, though. Project Fade would have you on the under 5.5 in this game here with the Winnipeg Jets and the Ottawa Senators. So if you believe in Project Fade, it's got a name. It's been working. That's the number you would look for there is the under 5.5 in the Winnipeg Jets Ottawa Senators game. No official play for me. Can't just come out there spitting out fades. Redbeard says tomorrow's a huge day. Dakota's War says Michigan State is just goated. I like Michigan State tonight. Dakota's War likes Senators. Yeah, let's go. Welcome in. Yeah, welcome in, my friend, says Michigan State. Let's go. Okay, so there you go. That's just a quick little synopsis of what's going on with that game. Linus Allmark. Damn right, Linus. He's got a 2.6. Anybody know what that's from? 2.64 goals against average, 91% save percentage, but 5 goals on 15 shots in that loss to the Canadians. So he's had 4 days to sit on that and fester. I'm really tempted to give good old Project Fade a go. Maybe we give Project Fade a go. What's up, David Wallace? So that's a 7 p.m. start. First action here on the NHL board, though. We'll look at the Devils and the Avalanche, and we'll look at these two squads. And Jakey Allen versus Mackenzie Blackwood, a battle of who's our newest goaltenders. Allen let 3 goals in on 25 shots following the All-Star break. That was probably not his finest hour. He's got a 9-12 record, a 2.58 goals against average, and a 90.9% save percentage. Mackenzie Blackwood and the Colorado Avalanche playing at home, 20-16-5. He's 2.54 goals against average with a 91.5% save percentage. These guys are pretty comparably stacked. Now, that being said, we know that some of these numbers have to be taken with a grain of salt for Mackenzie Blackwood. Coming out of that San Jose Sharks pit, the Shark pit, look, he's also in a position where he let 3 goals on 25 shots. That was a 3-1 loss to the Blues. I think the big record for me on this one here is Colorado's lost 2 straight games. Both these goalies allowed 3 goals. Last performance, Not good, not bad, but not enough for their teams to go out there and win the game. Now, New Jersey. Just busted up them Nashville Predators. It was, what am I doing here? Let me look at this. Bear with me. Sorry. Bear with me as I move this over. What a mess. What a mess. Come on. That's what happens when shit stops working right smack dab in the middle of your afternoon. You know? You know what I'm saying? If you're picking up what I'm putting down, you know exactly what I'm saying out there. And yes, 5-0, the Devils start their road trip off with a nice juicy shutout against the Nashville Predators. Mackenzie Blackwood on the flip side of things. It's a tough spot. You know, again, Nashville with their back-to-back Colorado. We'll get through this, guys. We'll get through this, I promise. Always said the toughest place to play after a lengthy road trip is back home. I would discount this because of the All-Star break factored in. Like, if you go back to that Ottawa situation back at the Christmas break and people were giving, Ottawa Senators grief because they're like, hey, they're going to be on a 9-game road trip. Well, there was Christmas factored in and we capitalized on that stretch. They did fail in that run overall. I think they were 4-5, including that first game back home. And the Avalanche find themselves in a similar situation. Back-to-back road games, Nashville and St. Louis. They were on the road the 4 games before that prior with the All-Star break as well. So this one's a little trickier, though. It's a little lengthier season. They've been on the road a lot, and some key talent for that Colorado Avalanche team was involved and invested in that Four Nations Cup. So that All-Star break to me in that road situation is exacerbated by the fact that they had that previous long road trip going into that All-Star break, if that makes sense, if you pick it up what I'm putting down. Whereas Nashville's coming in, or New Jersey's coming into this thing, and they're feeling pretty darn good. Took the win off the All-Star, or into the All-Star break with a shutout. They lose to Dallas at home, then they go back on the road. But that's that tricky little schedule spot. You're at home in between road games, and there's that long All-Star break stuffed in between. When they get back on the road, they're handling business. I think they handle business tonight. That's my assessment for this game here. I'm going to take them. I think this New Jersey Devils team, frankly, there's a lot to like about Colorado. I get it. I can certainly understand why people might be looking at it going, you got to take the Avalanche. But do you? Do you in this spot? I think it means, I don't know. I think it means a lot to both teams. But, the situation with Jake Allen going in goal has a lot to do with, look, Jacob Markstrom's out of this thing, and they got to take some wins while they can when you've got your kind of primary goalie in this thing sitting on the bench. West Coast and some travel out there, but, it's enough for me. I'm going to take a shot with this team here. I don't love this card. I told you with the NHL, it's just a plus money price tag that's got me sold. It's good enough for me to look at this thing and say, okay, I mean, look, if you're a minus 200 or less in the favorite, so if you're thinking you're catching the Colorado Avalanche at a nice price point, the reality is you're not. Minus 200 or less favorites versus non-conference teams that have winning records don't find themselves overall in a profitable position. Now, yeah, they're 163 and 115 in those spots, but it's not profitable long-term and sustainable. It's just an ugly game. I'm going to fade these fuckers. I don't care. I faded them. I took a nice price tag on it. I got I wish I had a better assessment than I don't care, but I don't. I think in this case here, this is just one of those spots where I want to get on the opposite side of this things. The fade alert would have you on the first period under. The fade Project Fade. I got to get the name right. Plus 120, I got the Devils for. Project Fade would have you on the first period under 1.5. Do with that what you will. Doesn't hurt that the Colorado Avalanche have not been a profitable team in the first period at home either. But that's another story for another day. The Vancouver Canucks and the LA Kings will bang us home in the NHL, the second game on a 3-game card. I don't want to go back and hit that under in that Ottawa game, but Kevin Lankinen will start for the Vancouver Canucks. He's got a pretty good record going this year, 19-9-7. He's got a 2.6 goals against average, a 90.7% save percentage. And the LA Kings have red light Rittich, 500, 11-11-1 on the season, 2.66 goals against average, 88.6% save percentage. And the Vancouver Canucks find themselves in a back-to-back losing situation. This one's a little bit different than that Canucks one, and I'll explain why in a second. Or in the Colorado one, rather. Lankinen has been playing well. So he's 90.7 on the year. He had 32 saves on 34 shots. They still lost, but it wasn't his fault. It was a 3-1 loss to the Vegas Golden Knights. Interesting spot. I know a lot of people liked Vancouver in that situation, and now they're kind of regrouping, saying this trade might have been ugly. They kept Pettersson. They got rid of JT Miller. JT Miller's not looking half bad. Shout out to everybody that bought into my belief system that if you're saying the Islanders were playoff bound and the Rangers weren't, you were mistaken in that spot, because the Rangers had way more to play for in that position and got the job done. And JT Miller was certainly a product of that situation. Now, on the other side of things, the Kings have been consistent. Consistently winning is probably what it comes down to. 5-0-1 in their last 6 games are they in this team. And so that means 1 overtime loss, 5 straight wins. But Rittich, first game in 2.5, 3 weeks now. Rest versus rust is going to be the situation in the story for this game here, but I'm going to back the inconsistency. This guy's not the best. We know at 11-11-1. Definitely the better goaltender, and it's not Thatcher Demko that's starting for the Vancouver Canucks, but I still think Lankinen's better than Rittich. I don't know how he was the guy that got the holdout there against Jonathan Quick, but maybe it just had to be salary related. I'm not sure. Goals are going to have to be the key for this thing. Now, this number's come down to 5s. Unbelievable fucking 5s. Unbelievable. Now, Project Fade would have you on the over in this game. The over, and you get a nice plus money price tag in the over in this game. But I jumped in on the Canucks. Look, the bottom line for me, Vancouver off a loss is a good bounce back team. Now, they got 2 losses, so that's a different element in itself, but 50-28 in those positions. Here's a crazy little spot, though. Winning profit with ugly road dogs, which we can clearly say that we've just described the Vancouver Canucks. They have back-to-back losses and 3 straight unders, and they're playing an opponent an over. Profitable situation as a dog. You play that system long enough, you're up 93, almost 94 units over a 700 game sample. 100 units profit. Now, that's where I was saying to start the card off. This is the kind of night where I'd look at this situation in the NHL and I would just probably go dog, and hope to go 2-1 and generate some profit off of this thing. But official plays that I will jump in on, though, will be the 2 dogs here with the Vancouver Canucks and the New Jersey Devils. We'll take road dogs. Cross our fingers and hope for a good outcome, I guess is what it comes down to. Uglier, but 150, plus 150, and plus 120. Good money here. Let's roll on. Let's keep her moving. Let's get the pace picked up as we move forward. Stern Company says you can't trade EP. I agree. Stern Company says they're a black hole for goals. I don't disagree with that either. All right, let's roll. Let's roll into. Ooh, I had that little guy there. Sorry. Doesn't matter. I mean, I like the fact that the Kings just came off a win. You know, that to me, that's even more reason that I like getting around this team here and getting on Vancouver. Vancouver needs to pick up W's. LA. And the only Hughes brother that really matters tonight is going to be Quentin Hughes. Well, I guess maybe Jack Hughes matters a little too, but let's go. Anyways, enough of the hockey talk. Let's get into the college hoops. We've been seeing the hardwood pretty nice. Pretty nice. And we'll use some stats. We'll use some trends. And we'll use some cash flow and line movement to discuss these plays here. I thought I'd pick 3 good games for the card tonight. There's a lot of games I do like. My side card went 14-4-1 last night in college basketball. So, yeah, seeing the card pretty crystal fucking clear. 7 p.m. Ole Miss and Auburn pop off. First game that I'm involved with here. You can see Ole Miss comes into the conference at 8-6 play in the SEC. Auburn 13-1, the beasts of the SEC, the beast of college basketball altogether. Number 1 in the nation. Auburn. We got a line that started at 13.5. 75% of the bets came in on Ole Miss, but only 58% of the cash. Big factor. It's kind of a big deal. Overall, when you look at how this line moved, it did move down. So you do have correlated line movement, I guess. I mean, some of the bigger money was coming in on Auburn and just didn't care. But still a lot of public money saying this is too many points. I think it's because it's a little look-ahead spot, to be honest with you. Then you look at the total, you see 154.5 come down to 153.5. You have 83% of the bets and 83% of the cash poking on that over, and it's gone under. You break this thing down, you look at it. Auburn 8-6 at home against the spread. 9-6 to the over at home versus Ole Miss, who's 5-6 to the under on the road. Auburn's been busting teams up. They've earned their number one. They've been flying right now. They lost to Florida. Tough game because, Florida, we might have seen a little exposure from Florida last night, but still a solid squad that, shoots the ball pretty damn well. But after that, they housed Vanderbilt. They housed Alabama. They busted up Arkansas, and they crushed Georgia and the 4 straight rippers out there. And the flip side of things here, you got Ole Miss that's kind of fluttering. Lost their last 2 games, 81-71 to Mississippi State. Then they lose 77-27 at Vanderbilt, and they're coming back home. The big area for me, the big opportunity with this game, I think this is that look-ahead spot. Do you think Auburn cares about playing Ole Miss? I don't know. When I break down the way that Ole Miss plays, they're a slow starting team. When they play against a team that shoots 45% or better, so arguably, Auburn at home, number 1 in the nation, is shooting the ball pretty fucking well. And what happens is this slow starting Ole Miss team rolls out 4-15 against the spread in the first half. The flip side of it, though, with this look-ahead spot makes me nervous. With a big number, and we're seeing the numbers starting to come down just a little bit, kind of screams backdoor cover. Number 1 ranked teams at home find themselves in 3 and 9 positions against the spread. Number 1 home favorites of 8 points or larger find themselves 8-17 and 1 over the stretch of the last 26 games on the season as well. All that screams probably going to blow it in the end, and you got Kentucky on deck. So we'll take the first half here with Auburn. Let me see what I got. Let's see what I got for this first half situation. First half with Auburn. -7.5. Low juice, too. -104 on that -7.5. Still widely available. Love to get you guys down on that action there. I wish we could have gotten the Rice number at 13.5. But I'm a stickler for process. And the process said put it on the sheet. Get it in the post tab. Vanderbilt, Texas A&M is game number 2. Still can buy the points, though. I don't necessarily advocate buying points, but if you're hell-bent on that number, it's only an extra dime. Depending on how much you're investing, that dime could be considerable. No movement in this line. 48% of the bets, 5% of the cash on Vanderbilt. So 52% of the bets on Texas A&M and 65% of the cash. A lot of money. Did not have any movement whatsoever. Slightly juiced to the -7.5, like it wants to go to 8, but it just hasn't. Kind of makes me wonder, are they shading that situation? Is Vanderbilt a live dog? I don't think they're a live dog. I think they want to play this game slow. And then you look at the total, and what's it done? It's gone from 146.5 all the way down to 143.5. And you have 60% of the bets and 58% of the cash on the over. It's come down 3 full points from where that number opened up. Overall, between these two teams, Texas A&M is kind of one of my dark horses here. They were one of my long shots to get this championship, and I don't know. I don't want to say we're seeing them start to become a little bit overrated, but, man, you look at some of their recent performance, and I'm left a little bit to be desired. Texas A&M's on back-to-back losses, so we do like to kind of see a team that's back at home with back-to-back losses. The problem is that last game was against Tennessee at home. They're laying 2.5. They got beat up by 8 points on their home turf. It's a heartbreaker. Goes to show you when you got the 2.5 with the plus money on the road, you take it. Mississippi State, though, that was an ugly one. That's the 2.5 where they were on the road with that spot, and they got busted up by 16 points. So prior to that, Arkansas, Georgia, Mizzou was a big win for Texas A&M. That's when we kind of had my head scratching going, wait a minute, is this team somebody? But we got Vanderbilt. They stink. They're coming off a win. They just beat Miss 77-72. They were 1.5 point favorites, but they've gone under 3 of their last 4 games. And we look at this Texas A&M team, and they have been an under club. In fact, in a bad performance where they scored less than 75 points. I say bad performance because, when you're playing in the SEC and you got teams like Florida and Bama and whoever else that wants to go out there and throw up, Missouri wants to put up 95s and 100s, and you score less than 75 points, you have to make a radical change that following game. When the total's over 130.5 and they come off of that situation with less than 75 points, they're a perfect 10-0 to the under. And last game just went over. So, we're buying low on the Texas A&M under opportunity, and it's good enough for me to take advantage of it. I think they find it back to their ways. I think we can certainly feel comfortable fading in on this Vanderbilt team overall. Somebody tell me I didn't change there it is. 6-8 in conference play. But A&M's still ranked. They're still the better team. They're coming off that poor performance. You get your shit together, you realign, you start focusing on your defense, and it's plenty good enough, I think, to keep this game under. We will take the under 145.5. Starting to see that come down now, 144.5, and starting to see those 143.5. So you got to shop, you got to move quickly if you're going to take advantage to try to get that better number. Last game in college hoops, I already gave you guys this little sneaker out there. Rick Chase says Vandy's a good first half team. Yeah, I don't doubt that. There's our guy Guillermo. Vancouver won in LA already. Not 2 times in a row. LA waiting for him. LA just came off a win. It was a big win. Jerry Davis already bet the chalk. Oh, no. Smoke and mirrors. Smoke, I got you covered, man. When that game dropped below 3, it wasn't the situation. Holy smokes! Speaking of smokes, smoking out there. Trisha M gifting 5 sports money memberships. Whoa! Shout out to Trisha M. What a gesture, Trisha M. Cheers to you. Appreciate you. Blessing our action, giving us positive vibes. And I'm going to say this. Trisha M gave one hell of a button to push video for the live streams. Might be the best. Some would say it was good. Some would say it might be the best. I'm just going to say that. We're accepting all suggestions for downloaded clips, and Trisha M might have gotten, I never saw it before. I got to say I was surprised. I saw it and said, yep, we will take that one. And it's incredible. And she comes back gifting 5 sports money memberships. Appreciate you, Trisha M. You're the best. Let's go. Blessing our action. Gerald Jones coming through. Drake in Evansville under 124 says, let's go. He says the Saturday suspense. It's going to be fun. I know I'm like a kid at Christmas. I want to share it with the fellas, but I'm going to make them wait. I'm that guy. I'm going to let them know I got a new one, but they're going to have to wait for it. Rice in Memphis will be the 3rd and final game on the college basketball card. I'm not buying in on Memphis. Not doing it. I know. 12-2, and you're like, you got to be stupid. I get it, but if you've been watching the way that Memphis plays, we'll get into it a little bit, but they're all in or they're bust. And so they should be able to go out there and thump this Rice team. Yet here's what we got. 87% of the bets, only 45% of the cash. This line has come down 2 full points. That's why I wanted to give you guys that 13.5. I knew it was going to move. I fucking knew it. And there it goes. 148.5 moves to 149 with 85% of the bets and 86% of the... I don't know how many of you guys would have played it if I sent that to you at 1:45 Eastern 5 hours ago in the middle of the afternoon, but I would have felt better about taking my 13.5. I still feel pretty damn good if it comes through, but here's the question. Is the wrong team favored? It's the wrong team. What are you talking about? You're playing Memphis Tigers. I know who they're playing. I see it. Memphis 2-1 in their last 3. Of course, they won at USF. They lost at Wichita. 84-79 as a 7.5-point favorite. Then they come back home and they bust up FAU. We were on Memphis. A lot of people were on FAU. They were surprised. I can't believe FAU lost like that. No, you should start watching pregame. Rice, on the other hand, Shit team, 4-11. This line's come down 2 full points. Doesn't make a lot of sense. And they just thumped Tulsa, 71-50, laying 6.5 points. Busted up. Overall, though, the thing about Rice, they like to cover on the road. Maybe it's a shitty place to play at Rice. I don't know. Maybe it fucking leaks water in the, I don't know. Maybe the toilets are on top of the locker rooms and they leak. And I don't know. I don't know why he would be better on the road than he would be at home. 7-4. And guess who doesn't like playing at home? Memphis, 5-8 against the spread. Getting into the X's and O's, regardless of Jimmy's and Joe's, when the total's over 145.5, they got less than 6 days of rest. Rice finds themselves in an 8-0 position. 2 outright victories. 2. Regular situation, not extended break time, not midterms, not any of that other stuff that goes into why these college basketball guys can't just be focused on playing basketball with a high total. Rice covers the spread. And by the way, they're on the road. And how about an intersecting 0 opportunity? Okay, sure. Memphis, when they're big favorites over 7.5 points and they're playing a shit team is defined by less than 46% shooting effectiveness. Memphis rolls the bus in there at 0-17. 0-17. Memphis. What I tell you about these teams that you don't know, and it kind of makes sense. You're a bad team. You're big dog. So this is like your Super Bowl. That's kind of how I decipher that number. And when it's a large total, Rice comes to play. I get down with it. How about this one? When you're a double-digit ranked favorite and you're playing a conference opponent that you beat by fewer than 3 points the last time out, history does not bode well. Rice finds themselves in that position. 137-104 against the spread. It's only a 57% angle of victory, but it's plenty damn good in profit. That's Rice. By the way, that same trend might exist again tomorrow. We'll have to see how it plays out tonight, but I'm going to roll with Rice. I got 13.5. I'm still good with 12.5. We'll blame YouTube for that little snafu. Let's go. Let's get into these last 3 games on the horn. Strategic investments in the house. Chip Dora, play of the day, says hit the like button. It's got the abs on the money line. Okay. Huh? Appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming through here. Hope all is well your way. Let's go. Let's go. On to the NBA, on to the big boys. On to the professionals. As you will. Another game I looked at. North Dakota State on the over. North Dakota State on the over has a big trend to it. I'll rip down real quick here some other games that may or may not be on my side card, which is it's my card. I try to give you guys the best. Let's go. What are we looking at? Unless you don't want to hear. 14-4 yesterday. UCF, I went with the over in the UCF game. That was a little spot that I like to get involved with there. I know that there's a lot of cash coming in on the under, and it's moved 1 point in that direction, but I think they're still in a good opportunity to get more value on that thing. Shout out to our guy Noli Knows. I know he was on the under in that Navy game out there. I think it's a bad spot for Syracuse. I like Clemson in the first half of that game. I don't trust Clemson to cover that big number, but Notre Dame is pure shit. It's back to get on the overtime for Temple against South Florida. We played those. We knew that they had no team had ever gone 16 in a row to the over, and Temple got it because of overtime. Then we faded them that next game to the under, and it went under. I think it went under by like 15 or 20 points. Back on the over train with that Temple spot. Let's see. I told you about North Dakota State overs. And then there's going to be some later games that I'm going to jump into that I'll try to send something around tonight. I'll tell you, you got to look at Penn State. You probably got to take Penn State now. You can't trust Indiana and the 6-point roll. 4.5 was the 5.5, went up to 6, and now it's starting to come back down. So you're starting to catch that top of the trop there where the sharps are starting to bite back in on this Penn State side of things. And some other sharp action that was coming through here. Despite this number coming down, they're starting to buy back in on the over in the Villanova-Seton Hall game. Couple thoughts there on some of the extra card. I mean, what am I going to tell you? Not to play Creighton over DePaul. DePaul stinks. You know the deal with those boys. Try to fade them every chance we can get. It's a steep number. This number's come down enough for me to be interested in Wake Forest against Virginia at home as well. But there's a few spots for anybody else that's looking for my thoughts on some of those additional college basketball cards. My 3 favorites, though, are the ones that we shared here today already. And if you're looking to parlay, go parlay. I put an 11-legger together. As I was doing it, I was actually stupid enough to think, I think I'm going to win this thing. I think I got a really good shot. Let's see. What happens. First game on the NBA docket. We're going to that Celtics and Pistons game. Everybody's afraid to play Boston. 66% of the bets and 67% of the cash on, them Celtics. The number did move from 4.5 to 5. It's found its way back. Found its way back to 4.5. So late buying now as we get closer to that 7 o'clock hour. Rolling in on the Pistons. The Pistons. We know the record. Fade the Celtics following a win, 29-11. Here's the deal. Throw some of that kind of arbitrary bullshit out the window when it comes to this time of the year. Why? Well, because we're in that last third of the season. And this is rankings time. This is standings time. 3 teams that have a lot to play for, despite the fact that they're in the top of the heap. OKC. We see the Celtics, and we see the Cavaliers. So some of those, they're kind of pudgy and sloppy this time after the win stats. Put them away. Put them away for now. If anybody's going to tell you when to stop playing a trend, let it be me. And, overall, when you look at some of these things here, I thought that there's just a lot of good meat on the bone for this Celtics team. Not to mention, let me see if I can find this. Where'd it go? We got a situation where the Pistons are playing their 3rd game in 4 nights. We just saw the Celtics come off that monster, but look, I don't know if this is where you want to be. It's not that low a number. It's not like we're saying 2 or 3. It's reasonable to assume in this position that the Celtics can go out there and put their boots right to the ass of these Pistons. We saw that KP is going to play, or he is available, whether he plays or not in this game. Big deal. Cade Cunningham, of course. Tatum back involved. The move. I mean, everybody's rolling. Why? We're concerned. I mean, we got a 13-15 spread team in the Pistons at home. We got the Pistons on a monster winning streak on top of that, and that's where I want to get invested. I want to fade the subpar team that's on that winning streak and take it to the bank. I think this is one of those crazy little situations. Let me see if I can find this other spot. Late season, good spread progressions have won 9 in a row if you take this Boston Celtics squad as well. It's good for me. I like to see a team in the Celtics. What's that late progression? They're going on a run. They were a mediocre spread cover team. They just missed the cover. They pushed against Toronto last night. They covered every game before that. The Knicks, 7.5, no problem. They bust them up by 13. They housed the Sixers by 20, laying a 6.5 spot. They doused the Spurs by 13, laying an 8-pack. Where's that trend where you fade them after? You're losing money after this All-Star break if you've been invested in that. You don't want to throw those numbers out the window. Now's as good as any time. Get your shit there in on the Celtics. You're getting a good number for it, too. Pistons got to show it to me, prove it to me, and I'll buy it. But I'm not buying it right now. That is for sure. I'm taking this Boston Celtics squad. And I think, we're getting a nice number. I don't like that it's moved back just a little bit. That certainly concerns me just a touch. But, no, not enough. I think this is a good opportunity. They're begging you. They know the number. They know the game. Oh, the Celtics are going to lose this spot. This is an under opportunity. Unders to me, we got 93% of the bets and 94% of the cash on the over. Hasn't moved. If it's not going over, we got to look towards the favorite. And who's got the better players pound for pound, man for man, dollar for dollar? stitching for stitching, it's got to be this Boston Celtics team. I hate to say it. Pistons, not doing well at home, as I had mentioned, a forehand. This is a good catch 'em spot. Catch 'em looking. Good team facing the hot team. Celtics being certainly a good team. And right now, who's that hot team and why do we want to fade them? It's the Pistons. 110 to 69 against the spread in those spots as well. So a couple of reasons why I'm getting involved in Nasty Nate's Pistons. I don't know if they smash. I don't know if they have to smash. I just need to see them cash is what it comes down to for me. Shout out to Sean Higgs, my man. Doing midday money. I've been hanging out there. Find me hanging out there at noon with my guy Sean Higgs doing his thing. And he gifted 20 sports money memberships. Whoa, Sean, my God. Brother. Here's to you, my friend. What an animal. Much appreciation, my dude. Man, fantastic. Sean, you're my dude. I appreciate you so much. More than you know, man, I love that you guys do midday money, that you're doing midday money, and I love to see the show grow and drop my 2 cents in there from time to time. But you are the man, Sean. Appreciate you, my dude. Blessing our action. What a day. Redbeard says, what a community. Hell yeah. Shout out to Brady Palmquist in the house. Says, yo, what up, Brady? Good to see you, my friend. Let's go, you guys. Man, Sean Higgs. Sean Higgs coming through with the hammer. My dude, respect. Appreciate you, man. Wish you the best of luck with your card tonight. Keep grinding, baby. Woo! Sean Higgs. Stop Cheetos. He's out here like Santa Claus. Hell yeah. That's fantastic, man. I'm feeling good about tonight's action. This is just getting me feeling that much better. That much better. Let's go for our favorite position. Sean Higgs, animal. Gifting 20 sports money memberships. Trisha M pulling down the 5-pack. What a day today, you guys. Respect and appreciate you guys. The Heat and the Hawks will pop off at 7:30. -1.5 has moved to -3. 74% of the bets and 69% of the cash are on the Hawks. Line's moving against them. Total has gone up 1.5 from 229.5 to 231. 64% of the bets and 60% of the cash are sitting there on this. I just turned screens. I can read and not think at the same time. It is, you just saw it. You just saw it happen. I was thinking about Sean Higgs' gifted sports money memberships, Trisha M's gifted sports money membership. 64% of the bets and 60% of the cash are on the over 229. Has gone to 231. And as you bust down this card here, I'll keep it simple for you guys. It's my favorite spot. Well, I'd ask you guys if this is my favorite spot. You just lost that on the road. Now you're coming back home and you're a favorite. Now, the difference is I normally like it to be they're at home as the favorite and they lose and they go on the road and they're the favorite again. Houston Cougars the other day. That's a good spot, though. Why? The bounce back revenge, immediate bounce back revenge. No teams getting cluttered in the way in between. The Heat just had a monster road trip. It's kind of a shit road trip, so it could see it being a difficult spot to play when you come back home. They had a lengthy little roader before the All-Star break. Then they stop at home for the All-Star break. Probably not too much All-Star break love going on for them Miami Heat. Then they go back on the road for Milwaukee and Atlanta before now coming back home to play Atlanta again. Why not even the score? You know, we love to see these opportunities in these bounce back positions, and I'm rolling with them. Now, the problem I have with this is Miami is not a traditionally savvy bounce back squad. They're 0-7-1 in their last 8 revenge games. But from what I can see down the lineup here, with the exception of Terry Rozier being questionable, everybody else is good to go. And we know the Atlanta Hawks, you know, they stepped up. They've gotten better on the road, 16-15. A lot of dog spots, 22-15 as a dog. Those dog spots aren't correlating to wins, though. 16-21 straight up in those spots. I think it's a good opportunity for Miami to go back there and exact their revenge, despite the 0-7-1. I love that they're facing them again right off the bat, right off the hop. They don't have to think twice about what they're doing out there. I got the money line. I got Miami at -135 on the money line. It has ticked up a little bit now, 143. You can find my action at BetStamp at Mikey Money on BetStamp. And we got one more in the hopper. Do we got one more in the hopper? We do. we do have, oh, I skipped the game. Sorry. It's all disheveled. Sean Higgs, gifted memberships. Miami Heat, there it is. Anyways, let's go back to this one. I hate to have this action all kind of cluttered up at 7, but it worked out well for us the other day, so we'll jump back into it. Look, benefit of talking about these same shit teams over and over and over is it's not new to us that they're shit teams. Portland sits them at -5.5, have moved to 6, have moved to 6.5. 48% of the bets and 61% of the cash have hit on the Trailblazers. They've now moved a full point. Shop around. Total was 66% of the bets and 66% of the cash on the over. Went from 228 to 232.5. There's a couple games. There's that other one that we talked about earlier that kind of profiled this way for me as well. There's a few spots where I'm excited that the team got their win. To me, that's the Wizards the other day against the Brooklyn Nets. It sucks that we just needed the Nets to win that thing with the 3-pack. But it was the Brooklyn Nets. It wasn't like it was the Boston Celtics or the Cleveland Cavaliers. And even then, it'd still be even better. So you got a bad team that you're selling high on. And the Trailblazers, well, they're beating up on bad teams. They get off. I'm beating up on bad teams. I almost up and off almost got changed there. Whew, that would have been awkward. But the All-Star break did this team well. And coming out of this, they kind of had that ideal situation. They played, if you look at the schedule at first glance for the Trailblazers, it looks like they had a lot of road activity. I get it. They had back-to-back road games, the 10th and the 12th. Last 2 games before the All-Star break. But they were both at Denver. And so, yeah, they were at elevation, but they had a day off in between, and then they get that long layoff, 8 days. They play at home after that. So they're already home now. They play the Lakers. Look, Luka triple-double last night. Holy shit. Who saw that? I didn't see that. I had his assists. I was checking back to see if his assist cash, and I'm like, this dude just banged on a triple-double? So, they can lose to the Lakers. Then they go out there, and they got the Hornets coming to town. So they're still at home. So really, there's no travel that's taken place for this team in almost 2 weeks, despite it looking like they were a road team. And they busted up that Charlotte Hornets team, 141-88. Now, they did have to go on the road to Utah. So this is where I think the road trip starts. They were 7.5-point favorites. Kind of the first game on the road after a lengthy home stand. They won, but they didn't cover. So now we're buying low on the Trailblazers. I love this Trailblazer spot. To me, not to mention that, but, how important it is how they match up against non-conference and outside of divisional foes. And the Trailblazers do it just as well as anybody else. And not just do they go out there and bust them up, a.k.a. the Charlotte Hornets, if you want a proof source. They're 8-0 against the spread in their last 8 non-conference games. And they're crushing teams by more than 20 points a game in those spots. It's a Trailblazers play for me. I got the -6 on the Blazers. I think they're going to put them the night-night. Baby, go night-night. It's still -6. You can get that money out there. That's going to put the bow on the show for all of us, you guys. What a fantastic afternoon. Trisha M says it. I highly recommend that those of you that were gifted a bronze membership upgrade. Support us. We are viewers supported. And we give back to those that, do believe in us and support us. And it means a lot that you guys take the time out of your days to come hang out. We're just trying to give you guys winners here. We do it on the regular with shows, and this whole, VIP program, if you will, was developed to give back to you guys when we're not live on screen, that you guys have the opportunity to, get the plays that we like, spots that we're invested in, other games that pop up that we might like as well. So to Trisha M's point, just $5 more. Take the opportunity to go out there and upgrade. Generosity from both Trisha M and Ramon Scott today. Thank you guys for supporting us. And if you're looking for a way to further support us, you've been winning some great money and you're trying to do just that, then do yourself a favor. Upgrade your membership, and we will be back here again tomorrow. Lots of action. You guys got some homework to do. We got 3 plays already released from VB MMA Picks and Ramon Scott. We got First Strike we're going to record tonight. We've got some exciting shows coming up here. Trying to get 3 new shows released maybe in the next 96 hours. Kind of makes me want to throw up just saying that out loud. It's going to be busy. It's going to be a lot of work. We appreciate you guys. Love you. Thank you for coming out and hanging out with us. Good luck with your action. And we'll see you guys back here real soon. Go check out my man, Ramon Scott, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning with the Morning Steam. Smash that thumbs up button on your way out the door. And what the hell? In honor of this generosity that you guys have exhibited tonight, let's go on and give our man the outro. Shout out to JPZ with this outro. Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. We don't stop. Bring sleep.